All right, so you just did a little activity that hopefully showed you the difference between navigating a linear piece of text versus trying to find information online. And there is a vast difference in what is required mentally of students, as I'm sure you've now seen yourself. So, what can you do about it as a content area teacher? Well, what I'd like to have you do is to really just take one step at a time and take a big deep breath, because even though the tasks may seem more complex, there are simple things that you can do to help your students. So I'm going to share three of them with you. I want you to know that Pat Alexander is really the source of some of this information. And so I've cited her work below, but yeah, I think she has some really great points. To kind of frame this up for you, I'm going to be talking about ways that we can combat the information saturation that students are faced with when they are trying to find information online. So, of course, instead of having specific and direct text given to students when they have to navigate online information, they might, and research shows that they tend to do more information um, curation or organizing rather than information processing. And it's because there's so much information. In addition to that, students tend to try to read things a little bit quicker because there is so much information to go through. And so they look at titles that are catchy. Sometimes they are drawn to more visual pictures of things that they tend to like. And so here are a couple of things that you can do to help your students. One, you can really think through what you want students to know and be able to do by the end of your course, and then make that clear to them. Make the foundational elements of your course crystal clear to students so that when they are navigating online information, there is more direction and focus. From your very first day to your syllabus to your assessments, it should be crystal clear what you want students to know and be able to do. Two, you can provide students with reliable sites for your course. And in addition to that, it would be very helpful to students to spend a class working through how to find credible sources for your content. Um, Actually walking students through the process is a very effective way to help them and will be effective across subject areas, I would say, as well. One thing that I recently read that was kind of eye-opening was the fact that students tend to rely or over rely on search engines for credibility and reliability, and so they assume that the very first result that comes up might be the most credible or reliable result. Whereas we know that there are algorithms on major search engines that really determine what comes up for students. And so that's something that we need to work towards helping students kind of dismiss that in students. You might want to talk to your librarian about coming in and talking to students about how to conduct reliable searches. And so that's the second thing that you could do for students. The very last thing, and this is me as a reading specialist talking here. Like I said before, students tend to buzz through information very quickly at the cost of accuracy. Okay, so they speed read a lot of online materials because there's so much. And so here's one thing that you can do. You can help them stay focused and build stamina when they're reading online. I would recommend that you locate maybe two or three credible sites that has a large dose of information about a specific content, and then have students read through it, stopping along the way to check their comprehension. So that might look like they're reading through a specific article online, they stop after the second paragraph and summarize what they read. We need to be very clear to students about the pitfalls that they might encounter as they move through the education system. And a big one is that they don't read for accuracy, they read for speed, or they tend to. And so you can read more about that research in Pat Alexander's article, but I just wanted to put it out there because these are just really simple things that you can incorporate in your classes. Thanks for staying tuned, and let me know if you have any questions. Okay, bye bye.